Almost exactly a year ago, I quit my job and I belly flopped into my first full year as self-employed. And I have to say, it's been so much fun. This first year has taught me already so much about who I am as a business owner, how I want my business to have an impact on the world. And also, I have really learned how to calibrate my work so that it doesn't affect negatively my personal life. I have worked with amazing, incredibly creative, and truly compassionate clients that I adore. I have made wonderful connections with the online business community, and I even became an angel investor. I cannot believe that happened in 2024, but it did. I'm going to leave a video up here about how that happened. And now that I'm coming close to the end of my first full financial year as a self-employed business owner, I want to dedicate a little bit of time on setting new resolutions for the new financial year. When it comes to personal New Year's resolutions, I set them in December and January, just like everybody else. But when it comes to my business, I like to set them the month before the new business year starts. And my business year starts in April and it ends in March. And so here I am, mid-March, setting my business resolutions for the next 12 months. I would really love to bring you on board with all of this. And so stay tuned for the rest of this video so that you can see how I'm going to set my intentions for the next year in business. But before we dive in, hi, I'm Susie. I'm a finance director, a business owner, and an investor. And on this YouTube channel, I talk about what it feels to own and grow an online business while still enjoying life, while still having a great time doing it. If this is the sort of content that you connect with, please hit subscribe. I'd love to have you. Now, in setting my business resolutions, I really wanted to set them around 3 values. These are core beliefs or areas that are really, truly important to me and that I think will get me closer to the life that I'm envisioning for myself in the future. Why did I choose 3? I don't know. I like 3 as a number, and so I've decided to separate my goals and my intentions in these 3 main groups. And they are community, visibility, and joy. So my first focus being community, because I think I still need to establish myself online as a business owner. I would love to grow the community that I engage with. And by that, I don't just mean having more subscribers and, more followers or whatever that is, although of course that would help my growth, I'm sure. But I would really like to focus on the importance of connecting with them and actually really engaging with the people that resonate with my content. This is really important, not just for the vanity metrics, so again, numbers and like numerical growth, but also because I want to make sure that whatever I put out there is really aligned with the kind of people that I want to make a positive impact on. I want to find the people that find my services useful. I want to know them well. I want to know who they are so that I can create the best services and the best products that can serve their purpose. And so these are the resolutions or the goals that I will set for the year that starts in April 2025. First of all, I really want to focus on YouTube. I love YouTube as a platform. Since I remember being an adult, I've always watched YouTube videos. I think it's a fantastic platform, not only because it provides content creators the opportunity to go really in depth with whatever we want to share, it has the best revenue model, right? So you watching this video have the opportunity to watch what I say for free. And whenever I get monetized, if I ever get monetized, I will then be able to, make a living or at least earn a little bit of income from your views. So I think it's a fantastic model, especially for educational content creators to, build community, also connect with the community without it being inaccessible financially for them. So goal number 1 for me will be to release at least 1 YouTube video per week for the entirety of 2025. I have no idea if this will help me grow in subscribers. I'm going to focus on my input goals. So those are the goals that I have actual control over. I have no control whether you're going to actually decide to hit subscribe and like on this video. I really hope that you do, but I don't have control over you and what you decide to do. What I do have control over is what I can do to grow the channel. And that is make videos and continue to make videos, even though the numbers might not grow at the beginning. And also I can improve my video skills. So this means my storytelling skills. And this means also the way that I script my videos and also the way that I choose the topics for my videos, etc., etc. These are all things that I plan to improve as I navigate this platform and as I learn more about how I perform best. So on top of creating at least one new YouTube video per week, I also want to continue writing at least one newsletter per week. So I've been writing to my email list since July 2024, regularly every single week, and it has been absolutely amazing. I mean, my list is not very large. I have like just a few hundred people on there, which, is larger than when I started, of course, which was 0. But that is such a fantastic way for me to connect to the people that actually want to hear from me. I think that writing newsletters is underrated. And mine aren't really newsletters in the way that, you would receive a newsletter from, a fashion brand, I don't just share a list of my product. I actually write to my subscribers as if they were my friends. I talk about what it actually looks like to own a business, and I talk about what I actually go through in my head as I make decisions and as I try to scale up. And to me, it's very personal, and it's also a wonderful creative outlet. I love writing, and this is something that people are, normally maybe a little bit surprised to hear, because I work in finance and accounting and that's my jam. And so people might be surprised to know that actually I am very creative also in an artistic way. I used to be a dancer. That was my first paid job, was as a dancer, and actually I made a video about what dancing taught me about running a business. I'm going to put it up here. And so being able to have that space every single week to write to my email list is a great thing that I have. And I'm really grateful to anybody who reads my emails, and I've had amazing engagement with my readers there. And so I plan to do that still every single week. So that's going to be, my goal number 2, my resolution number 2, continue to write at least one newsletter every single week. And then my third goal in terms of creating my own community is to find new ways to engage with them. I would love to have a more direct relationship with my viewers or with my Instagram followers and with my newsletter readers. I would like to create even more dialogue than what's happening at the moment. I think sometimes I go through periods where I'm a little bit shy and I don't share as much as I would like to. And not that I would share anything particularly personal, but I think my aim here is to create more opportunities for dialogue, to openly ask more questions to the people who follow me, and to really make sure that that relationship is growing and is based on mutual trust. This will also allow me to understand a little bit better what kind of content you would like from me and how I can answer your questions about financial management and about business strategy. I would love to get to know you more, and I can only do that if I engage with you in the first place. So those are my 3 goals in terms of community and growing my community. And the second area that I would like to focus on is visibility, right? So that means making sure that and by I mean my content and my website, ends up in front of the right people's noses. I would like my ideal clients to find me more easily. And nowadays, because I don't have a sales and outreach manager that can take on the strategy, I will have to think about that myself, which I don't mind at all. I'm having a really good time just learning about this, and I don't mind it taking a little bit of time for me to figure out how to do this best. I know this is a kind of skill that can only be improved by actually doing it. So what am I going to do to improve my visibility? There's a few things on my list that I would like to achieve next financial year. The first one is just to show up more. Again, I'm going to continue to show up on YouTube with 1 video per week, but also I want to show up on Instagram a little bit more regularly. So far, I didn't really set up a consistent content plan for Instagram. I show up on stories. I try to show up every day with at least a story, and I make the stories on Instagram quite personal. It's more about like knowing me as a person, and I like to do polls with whoever follows me and stuff like that. But I think I should come up with a more consistent strategy in terms of my Instagram posts. So that involves carousels and reels. Again, I have no control over how many followers I will achieve in the next year, but I have control over what I put into it. And that is more content, or at least more regular content, because I have gone through spurts where I have posted like every day for like 2 weeks or whatever, and then maybe, a month without posting anything on the grid. And so everybody will tell you that less but consistent is better than having spurts of like tons of content and then nothing for a few more weeks. So I'm going to concentrate on setting up a content strategy and a content plan that is sustainable for me and for my level of work. And maybe I might think about maybe outsourcing that to someone else. I might maybe hire a freelancer that can create the carousels based on the content that I think something that will help me do this more easily will be to outsource some of that to other people. Then the other thing that I would like to do about my visibility is speaking gigs. I follow several online business owners who did speaking gigs. So it means, going to businesses and delivering a speech about something or delivering trainings to big groups of people. Someone I really admire did a TED Talk. Not that I aim to do a TED Talk exactly this year, but I would like to explore, how do I get speaking gigs? How do I present myself to a group of people that would benefit from my knowledge? And how can I pull together a compelling story that I can tell them about the importance of engaging with your business's finances and engaging with the more strategic aspects of building a business? I would love to do more of that. I'm just putting it out there is not going to be enough. I actually need to think a little bit more deeply about what's the strategy behind it. Who do I need to reach out to? What are those instances where I can present, where I can deliver a presentation about what I do? I will need to research that a little bit more, maybe speak to a couple of people here and there who can recommend to me what the next step is. But definitely speaking gigs is something that I would love to explore. And this would be a massive step outside of my comfort zone because I'm not that great at public speaking. I think I still find it something really scary to do, but that's not going to stop me from doing it if I have the opportunity to. I would really embrace the opportunity to speak publicly, and I would just need to get over my my fear of speaking in front of other people. I think I would do a great job at it, and the act of stepping outside my comfort zone, I know, will only do good for me. And then in terms of visibility, what I have noticed that I don't do enough is to, be open about the feedback that I receive. I have many happy clients that give me amazing feedback, on a private, one-to-one basis, and I do nothing to capture it. And most of all, I do nothing to share it publicly. And if I integrated a system that would allow me to capture my clients' feedback and also to invite them to share them on their own platforms on top of my own, I think that could really help with visibility. We all know that, happy customers and the quality of the service that you offer are the best marketing. Happy clients and just like delivering the best service that you can is the best thing that you can do to achieve more sales. So I should really be more intentional in the way that I capture feedback and share it. And then thirdly, my last area of focus for next year is joy. So joy, this might sound a little bit cheesy as a thing, but having fun and having a pleasant time is, I think, at the top of my list of priorities, more than earning more income. I would rather earn less, but have a great time, owning this business and running it, than earn tons and tons of money while being miserable. Truly, like, my quality of life and the quality of life of my family is the most important thing to me. And so that requires proactive and intentional choices. Work will not automatically be great. Just because you have your own business and just because you create your own work, it doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy it if your priorities aren't straight. Again, if you focus just on making tons of money, it's less likely, I would say, that you're going to have a great time managing your business. In my case, what joy looks like is having time and having quality of life. And this is what those look like practically in my life. I want to make it a thing that from the month of June, July up until September, I have shorter working days. So I did it last summer. So that was my first summer as fully self-employed. I had to adjust to many different things. And so I said, you know what? Really don't want to burn out. I want to spend this summer having a good time and having time to just rest. I was very tired at the time. So I was like, I'm going to have shorter working days. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be able to cover all of my client work and do the basic admin that I need. I want to start later in the day and I want to end my working days a little bit earlier than normal. And so for about 3 months, I started working between 10 and 11 a.m. and I stopped working between 4 and 5 p.m. And that did wonders for my physical health, my mental health, the relationships with my clients, that relationship with my husband. Like, everything about my life improved by just giving myself more time to just exist. I didn't do anything special with my extra time. I would just take longer walk with my dog, and I would have longer breakfasts, and I would write a little bit in the morning, do morning pages, and in the evening I would take another stroll. I would just do simple life stuff, but that was still such a great improvement in my quality of life. And so that's what joy looks like for me. One of the things that I want to still do this year is to work shorter days during the summer. Then the next big decision that I took is that I'm going to discontinue my tax return services. So some of the services that I have offered in this past year was to help people people submit their tax returns. And I've decided that I don't want to do that anymore because I don't find that work as enjoyable as the other stuff. The other stuff meaning financial management, so doing like the month-on-month financial tasks for a business, and also focusing on the training and the upskilling. I really enjoy those two things. I really enjoy financial management and I really enjoy financial training for other people. I don't enjoy the taxation part as much. I think it's more stressful and I think clients are more stressed out as well. And so I have officially decided that I'm going to discontinue that line of work, and that any client that comes to me with that, I will refer to other peers in the industry that will do an amazing job with them. The one thing that I'm going to do to help people with their tax returns is I'm going to continue to sell my digital course for freelancers that teaches them how to submit their tax return here in the UK. I've created this course just over a year ago, and it's a fantastic course. If you're a freelancer in the UK and if you have questions about how to prepare and submit your self-assessment, click the link below in the description. I'm going to put it there. I created this course for you and specifically for creator freelancers, and it holds everything that you need to know about how taxation works in the UK and how to prepare your financial information for self-assessment, what bookkeeping system you should use. It has tutorials. It has truly everything that you need to know about how to submit your tax return, and that I will continue to sell. That's a digital product, so I'm not going to have to do any active work to it other than just selling it to people and talking about it. But in terms of like submitting other people's tax returns, I'm not going to do that anymore. Another goal that I set for myself is to really focus more on delivering training sessions and educational content for people. The majority of the income that I currently earn is through delivering financial management services. So that is my finance director for hire strand of work. You can click over here for a video that I already made about all my different streams of income, but I would like to increase the income that I make from delivering training. So I have identified like a gap in the market where there isn't professional development pipeline for creative people to understand how to manage their business's finances. And so I'm here to teach creative leaders how to budget for their business, how to oversee the budget management of their business, what financial controls they need to put in place, how to prepare management accounts that can really help them understand how their business works and how close they are to the targets, what pricing strategies they should adopt and how they should price their offer and their services, how to manage their cash flow. All of these things, for the past few months, I have been asked to teach, and I've been really enjoying that. And that was actually one of my main catalysts to start this YouTube channel. I love teaching. Especially I love teaching about financial stuff and business strategy stuff. And so I would like to be more intentional whenever I sell stuff or whenever I talk about my offer and what I do and the copy that I use on my website in terms of describing what I do. I would like to be more intentional and to include a bit more about the training offer that I have. And then lastly, and this is something that I'm already doing, but I want to do it even more, I want to be very picky about the clients that I work with. I only want to work with people who align with my values, and I only want to work with people who make it a pleasant experience to work with. I have to say that I was always very lucky in that I never had an awful client, fortunately, or at least not yet. But sometimes clients have come to me and they were particularly difficult about something, and nobody was ever awful to me and nobody was ever particularly rude, but there are some elements from a client that I don't work well with, and that is, clients who are unresponsive, clients who expect me to, wait a long time for them to respond to me and then they want my reply immediately. I don't want to work with clients who want to negotiate with my fees. I have a fee structure that I find is very fair compared to the value that I deliver and also what the market rate is. And so I never want to hassle for my price again. And so if a client doesn't accept my fee, I'm just not going to take them on as a client. And if they don't have the budget for that, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to take it personally, but I don't want to negotiate for my fees. I've done enough of that, and I want to trust that if someone wants to work with me, they see the value in the things that I deliver and they trust the fee that I put out there corresponds with the benefit that working with me will bring them. And so again, I'm going to continue to be picky with my clients, and I'm going to do my best to work with people with whom there's this mutual respect and mutual trust. And there you have it. Those were my new business year resolutions. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time actually talking about this stuff. Let me know in the comments if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, and let me know what your business resolutions will be in the next financial year. I'm really curious to know what you guys think is important for you and your business. If you haven't yet, I would really love for you to hit subscribe and maybe like this video. It was a pleasure to spend this time with you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.